The beat go off.
Feel like I'm Goku.
Hey guys, this is your boy SonTj here. I'm here to do just like a very opinionated video. This is my personal opinion, how I deal with my videos. So, my opinions on Yamcha. People are still mad about that. How I feel about how strong Yamcha is currently in the series. I don't really think he's that strong. I made a whole video talking about it because it's like this misconception, in my personal opinion, that a lot of people think that Yamcha can like beat like Final Form Frieza or something like that. But regardless, I made my video and I broke down my reasonings why, right? But I got this one comment that kind of reminded me of why I kind of don't care about certain power scalers, in terms of like the ones that kind of just pull a bunch of numbers from like every little situation and thinking that's going to be consistent, when even the mangaka and the story is not that consistent with all those numbers. And it's just pretty much one of these situations, right? It's like with Dragon Ball created power levels, right? And with power levels, you can find different numbers. But the thing is, they kind of gave up with power levels after the Frieza saga, in terms of like in the actual canon, when they actually mention power levels with scouters, or in the guidebooks when they have the daijinshus and stuff like that. And it's really hard for me to take anyone that pulls like every single moment where numbers are used to kind of like fit anything after the Frieza saga, right? Because the highest numbers we got like from Dragon Ball Z is like the 1.5 million for Super Saiyan Goku. And you know, we reached way higher levels now with, like, you know, currently in Dragon Ball Super we have Ultra Instinct, or in the end of Dragon Ball Z you have Super Saiyan 3. When you do have multipliers for like the Saiyan forms, but like here's the ordeal. People like to figure out every single multiplier for every situation. It's like, what is the multiplier for like Goku from the Saiyan saga to the Frieza saga, and what's the multiplication for like Goku using 100 times gravity, and use those numbers to multiply on how he gets stronger, and then add those numbers on how Vegeta goes into the it just, I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I don't really think the story is it's not made for every single moment. Like, for example, I don't think it's like, for example, I understand the Saiyan transformations having a distinct multiplier, but I don't think there's a multiplier. It's like there's not a consistent multiplier for using the gravity room. I just don't think that works. Like, just because Goku used the 100 times gravity room that one time and became that strong, I don't think that's going to be consistent for every single character. Or just because Goku got a blank number stronger with King Kai doesn't mean that number is going to fit for every person who trains with King Kai. You know what I'm saying? But like, when you get to those levels where people are trying to use all those like certain moments to add on to certain different type of characters, then they start using those numbers again and again for the Buu saga, for Dragon Ball Super, for Dragon Ball GT. And I don't know, like, I just don't like using stuff that's not actual real like canon numbers, or like for example, like back in the day, people used to do like, well, Super Saiyan 4, it was Uzaru with a Super Saiyan form, so they do the 50 times multiplier on top of the 10 times multiplier for Uzaru. Like, dude, we just start getting into that bag where you're just kind of like mismatching like multipliers, or using different moments in Dragon Ball history. And like, bro, as an athlete, right, just because, like, you know, I don't know, Usain Bolt does a workout and I go do that same workout doesn't mean I'm gonna get that same multiplier in my abilities as that person. You know what I mean? I just don't think the story is written in that way. You know what I mean? Like, I understand the Saiyan transformations because it is pretty consistent there. But when you start, like, you know, trying to find out stuff, it's like the same thing with, like, you know, again, I respect these guys because the numbers they're doing is insane. But it's like the guys, like, you know, who hyper analyze all of the destructions of, like, you know, like if like in Naruto when Madara like destroyed those mountains, and they're able to like use the panel and like figure out the size of those mountains in real life, and like I respect all that and this stuff, but it's just like, if the story like is talking about like talking about potency of power, like, you know, a character in Dragon Ball Super can destroy the universe, but later on, you know, they only destroy like a little brick or something. It just kind of showing you that, like, in terms of like, you got to use statements and stuff that are more broad and more consistent than trying to find every little moment where numbers were used and try to use that to like power scale everyone. I guess just like the whole point of this video I'm just talking about is that when when someone gives me a whole soliloquy and they go past the Frieza saga and they stop using guidebooks and they're just using like every little moment where numbers were somewhat consistent and try to use it outside of those arcs that was in that context, I can't do it, bro. And that's how my channel's always been. Like, don't get me wrong, I will use power levels in like certain instances where it fits. Like, for example, I'm going to use power levels in the Saiyan saga because they have power levels for everyone, right? But I'm not going to use made up power levels post Frieza saga because there's nothing there. Like, you can use like Saiyan transformations, but like, for example, I'm not going to do a makeup Super Saiyan level. I'm not going to do a makeup multiplier for Super Saiyan God because we don't have that yet. Or I'm not going to make a made up multiplier for Ultra Instinct because we don't have that yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, it's cool and fun, like, you know, to just try to figure it out. But when people really take that shit mad seriously and like really try to find a real multiplier for stuff, I think you're doing the most, bruh. I really think you're doing the most. And I can't put that in my videos because that's headcanon, bro. I can't use the multi. Like, it's like the same thing with freaking Screw Attack when they try to do Death Battle and they try to figure out Goku's speed by using his speed from the Snake Way. And even though that was a number that worked in that context, you try to do that on top of a made up Super Saiyan 4 multiplier. You know what I mean? You know how like a slippery slope that can get. So again, you know, different franchises have power levels, right? Like Yu Yu Hakusho has power levels. The Seven Deadly Sins, they have their own power levels, right? And some people try to think, like, for example, a person from like Seven Deadly Sins has a 100,000 power level, and they think that equates to Dragon Ball Z's power levels. When like, no, fam, like a person with like a thousand multiplier will beat the crap out of someone with 100,000 in Seven Deadly Sins. But yeah, I guess I just want to talk about how like why in like a lot of videos I just don't make up stuff, because again, you know, there's different YouTubers, they just have some random ass number for a multiplier, like an octillion, sextillion, all these numbers. And just again, I respect you if you know if you're able to make up a headcanon where you're able to use any type of consistency with training and try to implement that with everyone. Because bro, like characters like Tien get more out of training than characters like Yamcha sometimes, or Krillin or Gohan, especially Goku and Vegeta. So trying to find some type of consistency with that is a tall order it just is. Like, you can't factually say that training gives you a set amount of multiplier. You can't. Like, unless you use the Daijinshi, and some people don't even want to use that because they feel like it's inconsistent. So, yeah, man, that's one of the main reasons why I just don't use made-up stuff or made-up numbers, or because it gets very slippery and it doesn't make sense after a while. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What do you think about people who kind of use multipliers when they're not official, or they use certain contexts of like for example, if Goku trains in the Hallbog Time Chamber, gets a 5 times multiplier, then they use that for every person who's ever been on the Hallbog Time Chamber. Unless the story is literally letting you know that this is the set multiplier for certain things, I don't think you should use that, man. But that's my personal opinion. I graduated college for business marketing. I wasn't a mathematician, so that's my thing. Yeah, just a short little video talking about things. I think it's gonna be little editing. It's just me giving my personal opinion. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. I think I'm just gonna do a double review for the God of High School, because man, I've been super laid back. And also, like, when you don't review certain anime at a certain point, the algorithm just doesn't like it, man. So if you like the video, please like the video. If you're subscribed, click on all notifications. And if you send me a big giant paragraph of like just a lot of numbers, and I'm asking you like, okay, where are you getting these numbers from, and you're just kind of saying like, well, I'm just using like just out of context multipliers and just hoping it fits every single character, I'm gonna look at it a little bit funny. So yeah, SonTj, peace, love you all.